idea is, and you can correct me and retrench me anywhere you want, my focus is at the door, we're going to focus on quality and service, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on price.
Right.
So everything we're going to do is kind of present as we're experts, and this is what we know, and this is how it works, and we're going to help you like you won't believe, but it ain't going to be cheap. We're just not going to say that.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so then I kind of have, I love these questions, and it's important that we answer these every single time we are doing a campaign, because it also helps the people you want to hire. They can read this document and they're clear what they're supposed to do at the door. Does that make sense? So it becomes deeper than just reading a script.
Yeah.
So what's the ultimate perception that we want to have with the clients about XL Broadband? Well, that we're the most trusted broadband provider in the area.
Yeah.
We're experts at cord cutting. These can all be changed. And we love the customers more than the money.
Right.
And so if we want to believe these and put these into our core belief system, the customers are going to feel that when we're talking to them. Make sense?
Yeah.
I don't have accomplishments because that's something that you have to work with me on. I can't tell you what you want to accomplish in the world. You got to tell me. But I want to focus this in your market that we're going to attack. So this might be different in each area that we go at. So we look at, where do you want to go cold call first? Or do we want to look at this, your whole area, then that would become your market, that area. So it could be a town, it could be the market, it could be the state, it could be the country. Make sense?
Yeah.
So we want to talk about that and come up with at least 2 or 3 accomplishments that we want to have, because we want to make sure that when we're at the door and that we're talking to somebody, that we're not just getting a deal, that we're attacking, we're achieving multiple goals at everything that we do. So because you may not get the deal at the door, but when you walk away, you want that person thinking, man, I should really use those guys.
Yeah.
Right? So we want to try to create that kind of an atmosphere with them. So that brings me to icebreakers, and this is kind of a standalone little deal here. Are you keeping up with me, Evan, or did you read ahead?
No, I'm actually staying right with you.
Okay, cool. So with what I'm thinking about here is icebreakers, and this is like the little gimmick that we give away at the door. And so the idea that I came up with was, since you want to, you don't mind spending a little bit of money, so
Right.
we could actually find somebody who could make us some notepads and pencils, and we brand those for XL Broadband. So my idea with the notepad is either we create a little paper that they can sandwich in the notepad, which I'm not a favor of the best, but it would work, or we take each notepad paper and we do kind of a watermark of some message that we want on that notepad, so it's like a branded notepad. The other option is we turn the notepad over, and on the back side is a very short version of the brochure. It just has the 3 packages that we're talking about when we're out the door.
Yeah.
Because what we don't want to do is get at the door and have 17 packages for people to pick from, because they'll become overwhelmed. They won't know. They're going to want to think about it. But if we can give them 3 packages to choose from, a package that will work but not really optimized for video, that will work for video and works for music, it's probably your best-selling package. And then for the guy that's got to have the best of the best, you have that package too. So when you're standing at the door, you have only 3 packages. Well, we could put 3 packages pretty easily on the back of a notepad.
Yeah.
Make sense? So, and then inside there is a pencil, and we have a pencil that's actually cellophaned in the whole thing. It's a completely sealed package with a pencil, and the pencil has XL Broadband and the phone number on it, and it's
cool.
positioned in a way so that we could read it.
Yeah.
Now, the cool thing is people are going to go, well, that's kind of nifty and tricky, but the idea is that we use that in our pitch, right? And I'll explain that when we get out to the goal, when we get into the script a little bit.
Okay.
So the goals at the door. Educate the prospect on the value of Netflix and online video. If that's a goal you can buy into, that's what we want to work with.
Yeah.
Introduce XL Broadband as an expert on online video use and service. I put a question mark because I wasn't sure if you were game for that or not.
No, I like that, definitely.
Okay. And then schedule an install and get a referral. So those are our goals at the door.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I go into a little bit of the script, and then when I write scripts, I have a content writer that I like to work with. So what I do usually is I outline kind of what my message is going to be, and then when I'm done, I take it to him, and he and I, we wordsmith it until we get it the way we want it. Okay?
Yeah.
So mine's going to be kind of barbaric, but let me go over it. So what are we going to say to get the conversation rolling? an XL Broadband notepad and a pencil kit and plastic wrap we have in hand, right? And then the guy says, "Hi, I'm Dave with XL Broadband, your locally owned, highly reliable wireless broadband provider. Have you heard of us? Yes or no? Doesn't matter what they say here. Well, this is yours to keep. Remember what it was like to use one of these before smartphones and internet? And we hand them that branded notepad and the pencil. We put it right in their hand. You don't show it to them. You put it right in their hand.
That's good.
Right?
Good, yeah.
And then we go, we're out handing these out to them and meeting folks like you to let you know you have options for cutting the cord. And then from here is kind of, this is where I kind of stopped. I have more ideas, but this is where it kind of breaks away. So here they're going to say something, they're going to talk. There's going to be some natural conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And usually there should be. They're either going to say, "Get the fuck out of here" by this point, or they're going to say, "Oh yeah, I'm interested. Well, what do you do?" You know, and they're going to start asking you questions. Once that happens, you avoid the script because you got them talking. Right?
Yeah.
So, and you just kind of, then now you're winging it, right? But you got to remember your goals. These are your goals. Accomplish each one of them and do it in order, right? So don't ask for an install until you've educated them or you know they're educated. Don't ask for an install until you've proven yourself as an expert in the service. Then you go for the install. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I feel like you're getting this, Evan, because I think you have some experience at cold calling. Am I correct?
Yeah. Well, when you say cold calling, I think you're meaning like actually on the phone. But when you say cold calling, I think you mean
door knocking.
Door knocking, and yeah, I've got tons of experience door knocking.
And I think you do, and because that's what the script is. I'm making the script for is door knocking. Because, dude, I used to door knock a lot when I was in Kirby Vacuum, and I used to kill it.
I used to work there too.
Did you? Oh, I used to kill it, dude. I worked for them for 6 years. I made a killing with those guys, man. But they're all thieves and criminals and shit, so I had to get out of it.
Yeah.
You probably had the same experience. So anyway, this is kind of mirrored after that cold calling experience that I've had, but this should work pretty fucking good, man.
Yeah.
But if you can't get them to start talking to you when you get down to here, you have options for cord cutting. If you can't get them to start asking you questions, then you can try again, and that's what this is, would be your second attempt. Did you know it took radio 38 years to reach 50 million Americans? Wow, really? Did you know it only took network television 13 years to reach 50 million Americans? Wow, that seems pretty fast. I guess I could see that. Yeah, did you know the internet took only 3 years? Holy crap, really? Yeah, today the goal is to watch our shows when we want to watch them, when we want to. Isn't that your goal too? I haven't written all that because I'm still kind of working on this piece, right?
Yeah.
And the person's going to go, well, yeah, I like to watch. What's your favorite TV show, movie you like to watch on the internet? Well, I like to watch Bloomington Steel because I'm an old fuck, you know? And that's kind of how you take it from there. And then and I kind of don't have, this isn't really worked out. This is all kind of, I've just kind of fine-tuned a little bit of this.
Right.
So how does that feel to you, dude?
Let me, at a first glance, I think it feels great. Let me just go through it one more time, the highlighted part here. So, hi, I'm Evan let me just do it so I can see how it feels. Hi, I'm Evan with XL Broadband. We're your locally owned, highly reliable wireless. I'm probably going to get rid of wireless, though, you know?
Okay, that's fine. Dude, this is just a rough draft, and I would suggest not taking it out.
Oh, yeah.
Just line through it.
How do you
do that?
How do you do that?
Okay, so here I'm going to show you. So you go, actually I'm going to tell you, go up to Tools.
Wait, let me give you the controls, too, just so we can share this.
Oh, well, I'm not on your GoToMeeting, dude. I'm on the dock itself.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? I can go to that. Let me go to that. It's hard for me to see because I have a little bitty monitor and I have control.
Bigger.
So you go up to Tools and you're going to see Script Editor. No, Format. It's under Format.
Strike through.
And then strike through. Yeah. Where's that at? You see it right here. Boom.
Yeah.
You just do strike through because we don't really want to eliminate, because you may not like the word, but the word might be identifiable to the people that you're talking to. So when we write these scripts, you can't really use what you want to use for your marketing. I mean, you can, but you have to use it strategically. It's important to use buzzwords that people that you're talking to understand.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So,
okay,
okay, so then should I just click into suggesting mode on my side over here so I won't be editing your stuff?
You can, but yeah, let's go ahead because we're going to end up editing it anyway. So that's probably a good idea.
So, okay. So, hi, I'm Evan with XL Broadband. We're a locally owned, highly reliable broadband provider. Have you heard of us? No. Well, this is for you to keep. Here's, hand them the pencil and notepad. Remember what it was like to use one of these before smartphones and the internet? We're out handing these out and meeting folks like you to let you know you have an option for cutting the cord. And I could even say, like, do you know what cutting the cord is?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's so many ways that you could move this. This is really, Evan, when I write these, they're meant to give you an outline, and you just got to wing it, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
With this door stuff, you got to wing a lot of this.
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to throw in, like, some different things I could say, and I could test them,
Absolutely.
Do you know what cutting the cord is? Yeah, so...
Most people should probably say yes to that. I mean,
Right.
you're gonna figure that out because I mean it's all over the web. You're gonna figure that out. The trick is to you want to drive them to a certain area, and the certain areas you just want them to start talking to you about their broadband, and then once they start talking to you, you start looking for their pain.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you find their pain, then you solve their pain, and when you solve their pain, then you ask for the install.
Yeah.
Or I know you know how you're gonna totally knock this out of the park, dude.
Yeah, I think that I know I gotta get them talking like I also have to get that. I've been researching sales a little bit more lately, and I know I have to get them to like me, and you're definitely right. One characteristic that'll make people like you is listening to them,
Well, there's two things. There's several things that I use when I do this. The first one is maintain a distance. So when I walk up to the door, I'll knock on the door, and when the person comes to the door or they open the door, I take a step backward.
Oh yeah.
If they step out of the house, I step backward too. I take one step backward or two step backwards, or I try to keep a distance so that I'm not in their space. That's one. The next one is I make direct eye contact, and I ask them very specifically, and I'm very clear about why I'm there, right?
Yeah.
And then if you do that and you're smiling when you say all that stuff, people should just naturally like you. You're not one of those guys that has a hard time getting people to like you.
Right. Thanks. Distance. I'm just gonna put. I don't know where to put this exactly, but I'm just going to put it in here for now. I can always move it.
You're going to naturally do it anyway. The other thing you can do, Evan, is because you're a big guy, is take an extra step back. The other thing you can do when you're with them, especially with women, is if you can get down, if you have an opportunity to get down and it doesn't feel awkward, get below them.
Actually, Dave, you're exactly talking about what I've been doing and what I've been like. So, for example, let's pretend this is a flyer, So, can you see me or not? I don't know.
Yeah, let me get on the. Okay, I can see you.
So I'll go up to the door, and I knock on the door. I always step back. If there's a step, I step down.
Yeah, perfect. That's it.
So then they feel much less intimidated, and then I just say, "Hi, I'm Evan." I'll just do it because it's probably coming natural. I'll just be like, "Hi, I'm Evan from XL Broadband." Let's see. What do I say? I guess I changed it up a bit. We're an internet provider. We're actually just doing a lot of installations in your area. A lot of your neighbors are getting signed up, and we just want to let you know that there's not another option in your area. And what do you commonly use the internet for? And some people, they'll be like, oh, well, same thing everybody does, or streaming. I'll say, use it for streaming, And how's your current provider? Oh, it sucks, And then everybody says it sucks. So,
yeah, of course.
But anyway, I was just kind of throwing in a little bit of stuff that I was trying to remember.
Dude, that works great. I mean, all that's going to work great. And you might find that the approach that you want to use where, hi, yeah, I'm Evan with XL Broadband, and we're just out in the area installing some of your neighbors. I just want to let other people know that they have options, and we're here in the area. If you guys were interested in talking to us, we're right here. That could be so effective, that little pitch right there, dude.
Yeah.
That could be so effective.
Yeah.
So
I sometimes even say we're right down the street doing an install right now, even if we're not, Like,
yeah.
like because we were a few days ago, or we are in a few days, or sometimes I might say, there's people getting installed like that weekend. I usually try
I
to.
would try to keep it as honest as you can. If you said because if they say, oh, who are you installing? I know everybody down that road, then you're screwed,
True,
right?
true. I think,
So, but if you say, oh well, I installed one of your neighbors last week, and I was just coming out and checking in on their installation, and go by there, right? Go by the house and
yeah,
look at it. Just
yeah,
put your eyeballs on it, so you can say it honestly. I just came by and made sure that the installation did good, and the guys were here, and I thought I'd just let a couple of the other people in the area know that we were here, and I saw you were out.
yeah,
Something like that. Make it
yeah.
natural.
No, that's a good point. I like it. So, yeah, I try not to, stretch the truth or lie or anything like that. But yeah, I think these are good. So, but cutting the cord like is part of the goal is to educate. So instead of if we stick to the goal, they'll know that we're an option, in the area because we're hitting the goal, trying to educate them about being experts in online video.
Yeah. Well, you got to have the reason I'm doing all this is if you say, well, I was out here installing people in the neighborhood and I just thought maybe you might be interested in getting it installed too. That's all about you, dude. It's all about you getting money. And so you got to trick these people, and I hate to use that word tricking, but that's kind of what you're doing,
Yeah,
that you're there for them, right? Because ultimately you're there for yourself. You're there to make money, but they need to feel like you're there for them. And
sure.
so everything you do has to make sense. It has to be logical.
Now, how can we incorporate? I agree with you. How can we incorporate the fact that there's a statistic that people want, especially what their neighbors want or have, like,
Hmm.
so if that's the reason why I said, we're down the street installing like your neighbor right now, or we just installed your neighbor, something like that. That makes it does something. They're like, wow, if it's good enough for that guy, then hey, who are you?
No, I would never say not do that. I would
Yeah.
say do that,
So I was
right?
wondering if we can make that one of the goals too, is to somehow let them know that.
Well, you put that right below, right where we were talking about the cord cutting. So that, see, as I stopped right there, and so that would be
Yeah.
a great, here, let me go to the dock.
Okay.
And what we'll do is we'll move, let's see, you're already here, so let me see if I can bounce you down a little bit. Well, I didn't want to take it out that far, but that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we come down here and we'll go like this.
I could even create another side document on the other screen just to put the notes on.
No, we want to do it all right here
Okay.
because this is the brain section.
Okay, cool.
So we want to talk about actually you type it. You type right here what you want. I should have
Okay.
just let you do it. And just say it the way you would normally say it because we're not worrying about wordsmithing it. We just want the idea down.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is for you to keep. Remember what it was like to use these for smartphones and the internet? Well, we're out handing these out and meeting some folks like you to let you know that you have an option for cutting the cord. We've actually been doing a lot of installs right in your area. We just did an install for your neighbor down the street. We've got, let's see, so, okay, so oh, here we go. But yeah, then we'll have to change it so it's more about them, We'll get the idea out here. So, have an option for cutting the cord. A lot of your neighbors have been deciding to go. A lot of your neighbors have decided to cut the cord. They want to save some money on their video.
Well, what I wouldn't try to make it sound like that. What I do is just say it just the way you did before.
Okay.
I'm actually over here installing one of your neighbors today, and that's the point of what I was trying to say, is if you're going to add stuff like that, you want to make sure your guys are down there installing somebody. So if your guys are out in the neighborhood on a Saturday, go over there and start working the same neighborhood they're in. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it's 5 blocks away.
Right.
You
Exactly.
can just say, well, they're about 5 blocks down over here doing an installation, and I'm just out seeing who's around available today. You can say it like that. That's how you want it to word it.
Okay.
And you said it perfectly. So I was just doing some installations for some of your neighbors around the neighborhood here this weekend, and I thought maybe I'd come in and, we're doing some installations for some of your neighbors this weekend that are just real serious about cutting their cord, and I thought maybe you might be interested in, or get some of your questions answered, or I can answer some of your questions for you.
Yeah.
Something like
Doing
that.
some installations for some of your neighbors down the street. For some of your neighbors down the street this weekend. And just want to see if you're but the thing is, I know one thing when I say I wanted to see if you wanted some information on cutting the cord. When I say that, they say no and thanks.
Yeah.
I don't want to ask them a question because when I give them the power, they say no. You know. So
No, you have to leave it to yes and no's.
Okay.
That way they're meaningless. They can say yes or no, and it doesn't like
Right.
close the door on you.
Yeah. So doing some installations for some of your neighbors down the street this weekend, and going around. What I would normally say is going around just seeing if other people are interested, but that's more about us, and we don't want that.
No, you want to ask a question that leads into that. So have you ever thought about cutting the cord yourself?
Yeah.
And that's probably not even the best answer yet, because that's still no. It's better like, do you watch any of your favorite shows on the internet?
Right. Installations for your neighbors down the street this weekend.
I think I have that down here somewhere. Yeah, I did. Do you watch so this is the question you'll put there.
Who are cutting the cord? Should I put we're doing some installations for some of your neighbors down the street this weekend?
No, I would not even say anything about that, because that's a so what, right? It's so what. They don't identify with it.
Yeah.
So make it a period. Make that a period. Okay. And then let me put in. I'm going to put in the next piece.
Okay.
Do you watch your favorite TV shows or movies on the internet? And they're going to say, well, yes, I do, or no, I don't.
Right.
Right? And so that's the next thing is like yes or no. And then you make a plan, like what happens if they say yes? Cool. And so one of the other things you can do is usually throwing these tidbit type things like this in here in fragments works well.
Yeah.
Because this is people go, wow, really? I didn't know that.
Right.
And so putting stuff like that on there is a good thing. You can also say things like, do you have kids? Are they on the internet all the time? What's your bandwidth like? I mean, there's all kinds of ways you can take it. But usually when you get down this far, Evan, the customer has asked, you've asked a couple questions, the customer's given you some answers, and now you're on a path that they set.
Yeah.
That's your real goal at the door. And if you think about it, those have been your most successful cold calling adventures too. When you've actually got them to start talking to you and they started asking you questions that you could answer, that's when the deal started really moving forward.
Yeah. Also, too, did you want to hear a few other things that I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I agree. My current pitch is more towards me talking and them listening, where I need to reverse that and get them talking more because, I think overall that's better.
Right. That's what I just said to you too. Is the same thing. Once they start talking to you, they're gonna create the path that you're gonna follow.
I could say like, well, what are some of your favorite shows? And once they start talking about their shows, they're gonna get all excited. I could be, oh yeah, that is a pretty cool show. And get that common ground too. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, it's always good to say, I like that show too. That's one of my favorite ones. Or my wife watches that show all the time, and I have a hard time connecting with that.
Right.
The trick's to get identification with them. But you don't want to lie, because if you lie, if you just try to make the identification work, they'll feel that and they'll know you're faking it. You can't fake it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So just erase all that?
Oh wait, did it go away?
Did on my screen.
Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, you were marking off the check marks.
I actually didn't realize that would delete it.
Yeah, you just want to leave them, and then we either check mark them or not. And you can check mark them. I mean, it's okay to leave them in here.
Oh, so check mark. I've never used the suggestions before.
Yeah, when you click the check box, like I don't think you can. I think I have to. So I can accept the suggestion, and it'll turn black.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can. So that's how you just accept it, and it turns.
Oh, okay, okay. So some other things too. All right, so we're doing some installations for some of your neighbors down the street this weekend. I just feel like I need a little bit more in there. I'll try this though, and I'll see what else can come in. Do you watch your favorite TV shows or movies on the internet? Well, yeah, I do. Well, how do you like doing that? Oh, well, it's fun. I mean, it's great. I don't, well, do you have, like I said, do you have satellite? Obviously, everybody out there is going to have satellite.
No, I would say something like this. And then they're going to answer you after that. And then after that, you go, do you like to watch your favorite TV shows and movies on the internet? Well, yeah, I do. And then you would say, let's see, how's your internet? Or something like that. That's probably not the great question, but that's kind of where we're going with it.
Yeah. How's your internet work with that? That's all right. It's okay. Does it ever buffer? Yeah, usually when we have a lot of people on Facebook or at the same time, I got to tell the kids to get off when we're trying to watch our show. Well,
I would say if they say, well, yeah, it works okay, I would go, did I spell that right?
yeah.
And you got to fill some of this in with their answers, right? They're going to say 2 or 3. So they say 2, right? You can do things like this. Oh, there's only 2 of us. Things like that is how you do it.
Right.
So it's just you just got to make it realistic because they're going to be, yeah, I have issues sometimes when I'm watching. Did you know what causes that? No, what causes that? Well, it could be as simple as your router. Your router may not be able to handle that kind of connection. Do you know what kind of router you have? No, I don't know what kind of router I have. Well, do you have a 10 base T? Do you know if you have a gig port on that? Do you know if it's a 10 by 100? Do you know what you got in there? I have no idea. You want to take a look? You know what I mean?
Oh,
if they say you want to take a look, you're in.
Oh, yeah, if you get in. That's another thing, too, I was trying to learn is how to actually get in, Because if you could get in the house, then that means they trust you even more, and then it's like you have the time to sit down and go over stuff.
Yeah, well, that's how you do it. So I just showed you how to do it. That's how you do it. You got to ask questions, dude. Questions is the key to all of this, but you can't ask questions from a point that it feels like they're being grilled.
Right.
So everything has to be really natural. So you're like, yeah, we're doing some installations for some of your neighbors down the street here this weekend, and a lot of people have been cutting the cord lately, so we could add that. So you could add that right here because that's the piece you're missing.
Yeah. Right. Been cutting the cord lately. Do you like to watch your favorite TV shows?
Well, hold on. Cutting the cord lately to save money. Do you like to watch your favorite TV shows and movies on the internet? And they're going to say, well, yeah, sometimes I do Netflix and things like that. Oh, yeah, really? How's your internet work for you when you're doing that? Oh, it works pretty good. I mean, I don't ever seem to have a problem. How many people live in your house? Oh, I think we got 2 or 3 or 6 or 12 or whatever they say, right?
Yeah.
So I wish I could spell. My gosh.
Oh, don't worry about spelling. I'll go through and clean it up.
I'm just really horrible at spelling. It's like I have this great mind that can think of all these great things, but spelling and grammar is not something I can put together very well.
No, don't feel bad because I'm really, really good at spelling, but I've become so dependent on the autocorrect or the suggestions that my spelling's been getting worse. Don't worry.
And mine's getting better because I'm using things like Google Translate, and I got a dictionary open all the time. It's like
Right.
I'm doing everything I can to try to improve my grammar and my spelling. It's my weakest link in life, dude.
Yeah, nobody's perfect. So, um,
Yeah. Well, that's why I have Mike. Mike's my marketing guy. He doesn't really know much about marketing, but he really knows how to write.
yeah,
And so I make him just write the things that I want, and I do this. I like write down what I want, and then he goes in and we wordsmith it until we get it to be the right feel that I'm after.
that's awesome. Um, yeah, so two of us. Do you have any issues if someone is online? Watching a movie. Yeah, I do. Well, could what I usually do to get in the house is I say, well, it could be that you're having slow speeds. Do you know how fast you're getting? Oh, I'm supposed to be getting 12 megs, but the internet's slow all the time. Well, have you ever ran a speed test? No. Well, I could show you real quick how to do that. Let's go. It'll take two.
Yeah, and
You'll-
that'll work for some. It's a lot of people know how to do that now.
Right.
The tricks, you want to try 3 times. That's what I've always attempted was 3 attempts. A lot of times, though, dude, with this kind of a situation, you may not ever need to get in the house. So I wouldn't make that a goal. I would just jump on it when the opportunity presented itself. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah.
Don't make it a goal to get in the house. We want to stay very clear and very focused.
Okay. Um. Let's see. And then another thing too is one thing that I found really, really effective is by me saying, hey, we're doing, I mean, this is probably effective because it's free, doing part of it free, but I say, hey, we're going to be out here doing a couple installs already right down the street this weekend. I'm looking to get a third one, and if we get a third one, then all 3 people get it for free if it's in the same area. And I got 2 people across the street. And I used to actually, when I would say this, I was telling the truth. I would give all 3 for free. But anyway, I shouldn't have.
Well, with you doing the cold calling or the door knocking and your installers in the neighborhood, that would be the call to action I would use.
Yeah,
So once I got somebody, and I would actually we write that down because that's going to be your call to action, really. That's a great call to action.
yeah,
So when you get somebody talking to you and you guys are exchanging and the feeling's going good, then that's what you're going to throw on them. Well, hey, we're already here installing for your neighbor. If I can bring the guys down here and install at 1 o'clock today, it's probably about an hour from now, your installation would be absolutely free. You'd have no costs with the install today. And they could be like, well, I think I want to do that, or maybe I'm not sure if I want to do that, and you can sweeten the deal. It's like, well, tell you what, I'll give you the rest of this month free too.
right.
Anything, because you're really after that residual income. Whatever you have to give up to get it, just give it up. Get it. Other things I was thinking is you can do like that free, you can do that free antenna. Well, since we're out here today and we're doing these installations, if you were to, wanted to get internet from us today, I'll come in and put up an HD antenna for you so you guys can get your local channels. And that's
Right.
absolutely free to you. That's a $60 savings.
Yeah,
Right? That's another one we can use. Or you can say, hey, look, I got 3 offers I'm giving out to people today. You can get a free HD antenna that I'll have my installers install for you up in your attic. I also have we'll do the installation for you for free if you'd want to do that. And I can also do, get the 3rd month free if you wanted to do that. Whatever, and I just made that one up, but you know what I'm saying.
yeah. Um,
You'd be surprised how much of this crap would work. I should have started a flipping whisk. I'm such a dumbass. Just like I should start, now that marijuana is legal, I should go start one of those. Probably make a killing. You still with me? Evan.
can you hear me? Hello?
I
Hello?
can now.
Okay. This mic cuts out every now and then. Yeah, I was saying, yeah, become a farmer. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
So,
it's all legal here now. Like in 2 months, you can grow pot legal here.
wow,
Next year, you can sell it.
nice.
Yeah, I've been seriously thinking I should just flip and go after that business. I know so much about marketing. I can probably blow that thing right out of the water.
I know. What was the third one you said? Give a free HD and TV antenna installation, get your local TV channels, and then what was the third one?
It wasn't a really good one. I said get your third month free or something.
Oh,
That's
okay.
another one you could do, but I don't think that's a good one. Um, the other one you could do that might work is you could do like a free dinner or something if you can get like a really good restaurant that you can do business with that might donate the dinner to you as a way for them to get customers in the door, and then you could give those away at the as you're cold calling, and you could actually make a deal with the guy, the restaurant owner, and say, hey, look, man, if you are wanting to give away, if you're interested in marketing your business, I already go out and cold call every day. This is the pitch you'd use on them. I'm already out cold calling every day in the same neighborhood that you want your customers from. It's
Yeah.
really easy for me to hand out coupons to these people when I'm doing the cold calling. Would you like me to do that? The guy's like, yeah, absolutely. I'd be flipping stoked if you do that. So this is what I want in return. For anybody that takes an installation from me, I want you to give them a free lunch, a free dinner. It's like, and that's going to be better than your 20% coupon. But I'm going to give coupons to every single person that I talk to. They're all going to get a free coupon just for talking to me. But if I actually do an installation, I don't want a commission from you. What I want is I want you to give that customer a free dinner, and I'm going to give them a special coupon. Can you do that for me? And the guy will probably go, fuck yeah, I'll do that for you.
Right.
You know, and now you got the option to give away like a $50 dinner or something like that. And sometimes you might even be able to get the guy to do it with free service. He'll be like, well, dude, if you give me free internet, I'll give you 5 dinners free every month.
Yeah.
Right? That may not be such a good deal for you because if you're not out cold calling every month using up those 5 dinners, it's not going to be a big beneficial deal for you.
Right. Right. I see what you're saying.
So, but you might be able to angle it in a way that, you know, since I'm out doing this cold calling anyway, and I'm sure you could use the business, right? Why don't you let me hand out some coupons for you? And in return, this is what I want. And the guy's like, okay. A lot of guys will do that. You can do it with lunch. You can do it with coffee. If you got a coffee stand around there, you could do it with them.
Yeah.
There's lots of shit like that you can do that stuff with.
That's cool. Yeah, I like that. So, yes, that's good. We'll have to, should I say, do you know what cutting the cord is? Then that's the next part underneath. You want me to ask that to him? Or no, I think I typed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, honestly, I think what we have here, Evan, is enough to get started.
Yeah, we need some feedback and see how it works, you know?
So, because honestly, these scripts are great for the sense that if you can write it all out, exactly what you're going to say at the door, but you got to get out there and test it.
Right.
And I've never, even when I do my speeches, like when I talk in front of a crowd, I never write out what I'm going to say word for word. I just do bullet points. I just write 2 or 3 words about what I want, the idea that I want to get across, or the subject that I want to talk about, and then I just fill in the blank with everything else.
Yeah.
Because that way it feels natural.
Sure.
If I try to read a script, people will feel that.
Yeah, that sounds good. So then you've got the leave behind, follow up, how to get them installed, how to get that to work with installers, cultivate with them, and referrals.
Yeah, those are the next steps, is like, what are you going to leave behind? So you could leave the pencil and the notebook. You could also, because if that's all you get with them, you can leave the pencil and notebook. If you have a meaningful conversation but they don't want to install with you right now, or they want to think about it, or the wife's not home, or the husband's not home, or whatever the hell they give you, then you want to leave something behind, right? Something more than just that flyer in that notebook. So what would you leave there? And the best thing is something, we probably don't have time to create it, but the best thing would be something about cord cutting, since that's what you were there for anyway. Like a list of what local channels are available in the area that they're in might be a good one, right?
Yeah.
The ways to get Netflix, or how Netflix works, or other types of TV shows that are available to be watched online. That's a good one. Shows that have online presences, like does the local news station, do they do their news broadcasts online? Do they do them free, or is it paid? Right? Tell them the news stations that that's in their local market, and leave that behind with them, because that's something they're going to keep and they're going to hold, and they'll put it by their computer and they'll be like, oh shit, this has a lot of good stuff on it. I can watch football games by going here. Well, I'm going to put that right by my computer. Right?
Right.
So we can, and can we build that stuff up, right? So I don't know if you want to mark that down, because those are great ideas. We don't want to lose those.
Okay.
Actually.
Let me.
So we want a list of local TV over the air, right? AIR. We want to leave a list of TV. No, we'll do a list of news that can be watched online for free. So you want to this list is just going to be all this crap that they can do online for free that would help them cut that $100 utility bill.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Oh, you just wiped it out.
List of basically software or sites to watch their movies and TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
Shows.
There you go. That's a great one too. See.
Also.
Maybe tips on how to, if you're having like a quick troubleshooting guide, a short troubleshooting guide, like a quick video troubleshooting guide. You know, if it starts buffering on you, maybe you want to reboot this. If you need to reboot your system, reboot it in this order.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's good.
Don't make it too big, but make it meaningful.
Yeah.
And obviously put your contact info on the damn thing, right?
Contact info. Probably.
But you put that small on there. You don't make it big. This is not a piece where you make it blow off the page, right?
Yeah. What about anything about the referral program?
Well, then the next one's the follow-up. So what are we going to do about a follow-up? So you have this great leave behind. So what's the plan for a follow-up? Do you want to call them? Do you want to say to them, like, so, you know, I understand your husband's not here today and you might need to talk to him about it, so why don't I leave this with you, and you give him the leave behind, because you could probably use this to sit by your computer, and plus it'll let your husband kind of know what kind of advantages you'd have over the internet. She's going to go, oh, I love that. That's great. Thank you so very much. So when would be a good time for me to follow up with you? And then you have to decide, do you want to call him on the phone and try to talk him into doing something, or do you want to set up a time with him that you can come back by, or what's your plan for that? How do you want to follow up with them?
Yeah, time to...
And then the other thing we want to do is we want to capture their address and everything while you're there, and you want to drop a nice mailing card to them, and you want to say it was really a pleasure meeting you the other day, right?
Okay.
And that's got to go in the mail that night or within that 24-hour period. That's a great one too. I love that idea. Send out a after anybody you've talked to, you get their address.
Yeah, that's a great. That is that little extra bit of work that nobody does will go a long way.
Go a long way, and then you send them a little thank you card. Don't sell a damn thing in that card, man.
Right.
You just send them a little thank you card.
Yeah, exactly. A little thank you card. For their time or what?
No, you just say, hey, it was, and you don't say thank you to them, actually. You don't want to say that, so let's take that out. What you want to say, it was a real pleasure to meet you. You're, I don't know, we'd have to wordsmith it a little bit.
Look forward to seeing if we can help you save.
Oh, if you have any questions about cutting the cord or available online resources, feel free to give me a call, something like that.
Cutting the cord, or other internet, because I mean some people aren't really watching TV, they just do it for, like, you know.
Yeah, I would just say any questions about cutting the cord, or and you want to kind of personalize these a little bit, man. Cutting the cord, because that's the other thing you can say. It's like, I really enjoyed talking to you about your daughter and the school grades that she did, and you know, if you could put shit like that in there, you could do something like, Dear Mary, or Hi Mary, it was a pleasure meeting you this afternoon. That sure was a great story you told me about your daughter. The next time we meet, I'll have to tell you a story about one of my daughters, right? Or something similar to that. You obviously have a really good understanding of how to cut the cord and how to use your internet service. Your family's really lucky to have somebody like you in that house. Once again, it was really a pleasure to meet with you today. If it can do anything for you in the future with your internet connections, feel free to give me a ring. Your good friend, Evan.
Yeah.
something like that. And people will get that and go, well, that guy's really fucking nice.
Yeah. And these things would be awesome to do for commercial people, potential customers too.
It works with anybody, dude. It works with anybody. The problem with commercial stuff is you get a gatekeeper.
I know.
So when you mail stuff to the person at the office, a lot of times the gatekeeper, because you'll want to make, people want to make it all fancy. I'm not saying you, Evan. I'm saying you as in people. They want to make it all fancy and colorful. Well, when the gatekeeper sees that, they go, oh, marketing material, and they throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
You know, so it's important to make it real important looking. So the way I do that is I like to send like a greeting card or something, and I'll hand write everything on the greeting card, and I'll hand address it to the person that I want it to go to, because then when the gatekeeper sees it, she's afraid to throw it away, because it might be something important. It might be a family member.
True.
Right? So, and it's so effective to do shit like that. So effective. But you got to really know the person that you're trying to get through when it comes to corporate.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be a whole nother topic. So if you have any questions about cutting the quarter internet, let me know.
So has this been a lot more productive than the first one?
Oh my God, yeah. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it very much.
No problem, bro.
Personalize this. Handwritten. Okay. So, what's that?
No, the dogs have not been fed. Please feed them.
So we'll get off the time to call. Okay. Time to give you a call or email. So how to get them installed? How to get them installed? Well, we can hook you up this Saturday. No problem. We've got a few openings. The guys have been, they're going to be right out in the area. We can get you installed, no problem.
So what I was meaning here is, like, what are you going to have with you to help get the installation set? So you know that you've got this time to do the install, and don't leave an invoice. That's the worst thing you can do.
Leave an invoice? You mean?
Yeah, you don't want to leave an invoice. In fact, the reality is if this was me doing this based on what I know about FISP, I would flip and eliminate all this invoice shit, dude, and I would do everything through the sign-up servers so that my customers don't have to be looking at a piece of paper in their hand when I'm talking to them. I don't want to leave anything that says invoice, payment, monthly fee. That's all bad JoJo shit.
Okay.
But if I schedule an installation with them, and then my installation guy shows up and he puts the radio on the house, and the radio hits the tower, and the Captive Portal page pops up, and I click on sign up for service, and I start filling out, have the customer sit at his computer and start filling out the registration form, pick the package they want, put in their credit card, tag it for auto bill, activate the service, I can drive the fuck out of there and not have to go back to that house ever again about billing.
Right.
And the customer's already got their invoice in their hand, and it's already on the website, and they know how to get to their CSM. So I've just killed so many strategic goals with support calls, billing questions, all that. Over half of it goes away just with that process.
Right, right.
So, and that's what I would do. But if you're going to switch to PowerCode, I don't think they have any of that stuff. So we have to figure out, what can you utilize on their side that would give you the ability to rapidly grow the business.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, PowerCode is really shitty. Even their ISP, because I know their WISP they have, they're really big, but they're really big because they got started early. They are the shittiest at marketing. The shittiest.
Oh, really?
They're flipping horrible, dude. None of their processes lend to rapid growth. None of it. It's all techie shit. It's all, oh, well, I can see my fucking router does this all the time. Yay, me, woohoo. But there's nothing in there to really drive growth for the business, right? It's just all about the support, which is important. Don't get me wrong. Support's important, but you got to grow, dude. It's all about the money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when you get to as big as that their WISP is, where you got 20,000, 10,000 subscribers, having some waste in your installation team isn't a big expense because you got so much money rolling in. Mm-hmm. And when guys get that drunk on their money, they don't tend to pay attention to their costs very well.
Yeah. Well, I understand what you're saying, definitely. And that actually, them being that big with like a WISP that big needs to be cutting, like trimming things and being more efficient, but
Yeah.
even more. But anyway, so how to get them installed? Usually, what I do is just have a blank invoice. That's I know this isn't the most streamlined for now, but what I'm trying to do is get the whole thing right then. So I have a blank invoice. Okay, which package you want? All right, this. I add it up, whatever. Write it on. Here's the total. It's going to be $415. They give me the check. I take a picture of that, send it to the office. Mom enters it all in, and then boom, now they're scheduled.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's very labor intensive.
Yeah. So, but there's no other way for me to
Well, then that's the way you're going to do it now too. Then.
Even with the other way though, I'm still not getting a check right away. Like if
No, you are. You're getting a credit card, and you're actually setting it up for auto bill. It's actually faster.
when
And
I'm
if
at
you're on
the door
6.1, you can do ACHs.
when I'm at the door knocking it, or when the installer goes out there.
No, when you get the service installed.
Right, but
when
I'm
you get
saying.
the service installed.
But I'm saying, what about I need a payment commitment from them before we go out to do the installation. So I need something before we're gonna go out there.
Yeah, I think I don't know that everybody gets a darn payment. I guess a lot of them do.
I mean, I just like to get it instead of they're like, oh yeah, we'll get it. We'll go ahead and see. Here's why we get the payment, because if without that payment during the time of when I'm at the door or before we do schedule anything, we don't schedule or do anything unless we get some type of payment, because otherwise
They cancel.
Yeah, they're
They get
like,
out there
hey,
and cancel.
yeah, sounds good. Come out Saturday, and then we call them Friday the night before to schedule, and they don't answer.
And they don't answer. Yeah.
And we blocked out time for them, and it's like, so. Anyway.
No, it makes sense. So you need to get some form of a commitment out of them. So just do it your way.
Even if it's $100 deposit or something, but yeah. Anyway, well, we can streamline that in the future, but and I appreciate your input on it too.
Well, part of the problem too is if you can't get out there right then to do it, then yeah, you have that issue where they can kick it. But if you can get out there right then usually they don't. They're pretty excited the whole time you're installing it.
Yeah, you're right. If we can get out there like the next day or something, but
I don't know. I don't think the next day might not even be fast enough. I'm talking like right then. Like you're knocking on the door. He says, "Yeah, let's go ahead and do it." And you're like, "Okay, I'll be right back with my shit."
oh yeah.
Then that way it's way easier. But if it's like, well, okay, well let me schedule a time for my guy to come out. He'll come out on Tuesday to do that all installation for you, and you're like, okay, and it's Saturday, right? Yeah. I'm just using this as an example. By the time Tuesday comes, so much life has happened to the guy that he either forgets you were coming out, or he just blows you off because now he's not excited anymore. But if you get a payment from him, a deposit from him, now he's got a commitment in his head.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
So then, how to get that to work with installers? Yeah, so same type of thing.
My feeling with this was like what I said, getting the installers to start pitching the people around them.
Yeah.
I don't know that you're going to be able to get them all to do that, but so the other plan we came up with was you get those guys installing and you start canvassing the neighborhood, getting more installs.
Right.
So they don't even have to leave the neighborhood until dark.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Cultivate.
And then the cultivating of them to the referral, that's usually the best thing for that is for you to go back after the install's done and do a real quick quality control check, because they'll totally appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then you can ask for a referral at that point. So, I really like to get, 5 or 6 referrals from people when I'm out here doing this thing. And if you could come up with 5 or 6 people that I could talk to today, I'll give you next month free.
Yeah.
3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. Yeah. Is that your plan?
I was thinking something like that, roughly follow up with them.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I heard
if you can work that into your schedule, because that's going to become a full-time job the bigger you get.
Yeah, I was thinking even Sandra could somebody could follow them up and call them. I mean, Sandra or somebody, and just be like, hey, I just want to follow up, make sure everything's going good. Yeah, it's great. And then at that point, ask them to, hey, if you want to go on our Facebook page and leave a like for us or write a little review. That would help, because it's kind of hard to convince or let people know what it's like without seeing what people say. And
yeah, right.
Or
that's all good stuff.
Yeah. So there's that stuff too. Facebook review. Ask for Facebook review. Ask if they have any friends, family in the area who are interested, you know?
No, I would make that very clear, because if you just, the goal is not to ask, the goal is to get.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So you want to say get 3 referrals or get 6 referrals. Make it an order to your subconscious mind.
Okay.
You know, and
Get
then
3
ask for Facebook.
Yeah, we can get 3 referrals over this time span, maybe, you know?
Yeah, you could look at it that way too.
Like, you know, even
When I was at Kirby, I always asked for 5 when I did my callbacks. I always asked for 5 referrals. Come on, you got to know 5 people that I can talk to, and I would get 3 usually. But if I asked for 3, I got 1. If I asked for 5, I got 3.
yeah.
And sometimes I'd get 10 because some old lady would just love me to death and think I was the cutest thing since sliced bread, and she'd give me everybody she knows in her address book.
Right. And this is when we're knocking the doors too, right? Get the referrals.
It could be. It just depends on how good the thing goes, right?
Right. Yeah.
So if you end up getting a good deal with somebody and you schedule them for an install, you're like, well, hey, do you know any of your friends that might be having an issue that are real close that I might be able to get a hold of?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, John was just complaining to me yesterday. Hey, you got his phone number and you give him a call right now?
I know. Yeah. Finding the neighborhood cheerleaders, you know.
But you can't do that if they're not, if you haven't gotten that, you sold yourself to them yet. Once you've sold yourself to them, you could do a lot. I used to do things in the house, dude, you'll love this. I used to do things in the house when I was with Kirby. If the customer that I was doing the demo for offered me something to drink, I never took it. But I would always ask for a drink.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be training guys to sell vacuum cleaners, and inevitably, I would have one of the guys would always ask me this. Dave, how come every time the customer asks you for a drink, you never take it, but you always ask for a drink when you're in the house? And I go, because it's a subconscious deal for power. He's like, what? And I'm like, well, if they offer me a drink and I take it, they now feel like they've given me something for all the work that I've done for them, so they don't feel obligated to want to buy the machine.
Yeah.
However, if I ask them for a drink and they get up off the couch and they go in and get me a drink, or they offer me something better like Coke, Kool-Aid, or lemonade or something like that, then I know I have a lot of control in that house. If I ask for a drink and they go, yeah, it's right there in the kitchen, their faucet's, you know where the faucet and the sink is, right there on the back wall, and the glasses are in the cupboard right above it. Now I know I have virtually no power in this house.
Mm.
And he goes, that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
It's how I determine how much time I'm going to spend closing the deal.
So say that one thing. If you ask for the drink, then what does that do? I mean, I understand the part if they offer, you say no. But what if you ask? What does that do?
If I ask for a drink, I says, hey, do you have something I can drink? They go, do you have something to drink? And they go, oh yeah, what would you like? Would you like tea, water? I can make some coffee. That's telling me that I have a lot of power.
Yeah.
Right? If they say, oh yeah, there's glasses in the kitchen, they're right above the sink, and help yourself, then I know I don't have any power.
Right. Yeah. Also, I was thinking too, with like the Kirby, the vacuums, the good thing about that was you would do the free demo, which would get you in the house. So I was thinking, one thought before could have possibly been only thing I was thinking was like a free inspect, like free something. What can we do for free that they're gonna want, to get in the house?
Well,
but maybe we don't need to.
Yeah, that works, but here, let me just pitch the Kirby thing for you so you'll remember. Hi, you been home all day? Yeah, has anybody been by to give you one of these yet today? And I had a frozen food knife in my hand. No, what is this? It's a frozen food knife. It's compliments the Scott and Fetzer Corporation. We're out giving these people today and giving them a free opportunity to take a look at a home maintenance machine and give us some feedback. Do you have a few minutes to give me some feedback? Well, what is this? Are you selling vacuum cleaners? No, not really, man. I'm just trying to get some feedback, but the company pays me to come out and vacuum your floor and show you how the thing works so I can get some feedback from you. Would you be interested in giving me some feedback?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Okay, let me go grab my stuff. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
But you can't do that with what you're doing because you don't have anything to bring in to show them.
Right.
So there's nothing in it for them, right? So anything they're going to question why you want to get in their house so bad. Why do you want to help them? What are you, a thief? Are you just scoping them out? What are you doing? Are you a rapist? There's going to be all these things running through their head because of the way the news is today. You can't really be like that. So what you can do, though, is you can offer them all these things at the door and try to build the relationship and get to a point where they trust you, and then they'll just naturally invite you in. You could do that. It's amazing that I could rattle that off and haven't sold vacuum cleaners in like 30 years.
Oh shit, that is definitely. Cool. So I'll put this to the test, and I'll definitely get some notes on it, and some feedback. Yeah, I guess. Did you want to take a quick look at some of the other little ideas that we came up with?
Yeah. Do you have something to show me? Another document?
It might be transferred over to yours. Let's see. Let's see what you got here on the Excel marketing. Oh wait, that's the same thing. Dave projects. This might be it. Guitar, full subscribers, 20 sales per weekend. Create business. Okay. Yeah, streaming. Okay. Streaming. So.
Are you in the Dave's Projects one? Yeah. You're in
Yeah. So let me just see. So yeah, basically scripts for installers, just like little notes. Obviously not script, but little notes for installers, say things, which I guess Brian already does, but that's good. Call customer or call friends nearby who are interested. Script for following up, like for Sandra or whoever. That's kind of what we're talking about. Are you looking at my screen or the other one?
Yep, I'm looking at the Google Docs.
Okay.
I'm on the Google Docs because I can read it easier.
Yeah. So then that goes back, the script for following up goes back to the 333, Facebook likes, reviews, neighbors, Script for answering the phone. I was even thinking just get down to some of the basics, I'll go through, Matt and I, you met Matt, we'll go through and do some preliminary stuff on this, and then we can polish it up with you. And,
okay.
Just a way to answer the phone. Right now we just say, XL Broadband 7, or Jill or whoever. But,
that's perfect.
Okay. And then let's see. Checklist, things to cover during warm lead on the phone. Yeah, just something for mom. She's already awesome at sales, so I should probably just listen to some of the things she says and then document it. She's great at converting warm leads to sales. People calling, and 5 minutes later she's getting a credit card for $700.
So she has a good. Do you say that she gets more than she misses?
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Okay, then don't even mess with her. Just let her keep doing what she's doing. Don't even mess with her.
Okay. Yeah.
Because she's not gonna. If she's got a system that works, she's obviously spent a lot of time cultivating that, and she's got a feeling for it. So let her have it.
Yeah, she literally, every person she talks to, I'd say probably at least a good 70% of them end up wanting to get the survey. And the problem is then we can't service all of them, so we only do a fraction of them. But
yeah, that's
anyway,
the sad side. But
yeah,
that's cool though, man. I would let her just let her have her deal. That's probably why you've been looking at like expanding so fast, because you're trying to capture more of those.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, which makes total sense why you were going that direction. But the reality is if you focus on this area for at least this season, next season you can build out 3 or 4 more areas because you'll have a complete vehicle now.
Right.
For how to bring these areas to profitability.
Exactly. Yeah. So then there's
the flyer. You wanted to do some updates to the flyer.
Yeah, just do this. A little stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna date it under the price. Move some things around. It's no problem. I got that under control. I was thinking even with the flyer, I could easily add some little icons on a part of it with like Roku, Amazon Prime, YouTube, just to kind of like put it out there so people see it. It's familiar, to them.
Mm-hmm.
Then also a pamphlet for referral program. Basically, like after the install, basically it would be like an installation pamphlet that's maybe magnetic, that's got their Wi-Fi password, referral program, how to reboot the router, the PoE, our contact info.
That I would probably move to the top of the list to get that done sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
The magnet one.
Okay.
Because that's very meaningful to the customer.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I don't know that they want their password, on the refrigerator, but I could see myself that would be beneficial when friends and family come over. They're like, "What's the password to your internet?" "Oh, it's on the, sticky on the refrigerator." That'd be pretty damn helpful.
Yeah, and then they're also always looking at the referral program too,
Mm-hmm.
that thing. And then if the install goes good, we can also give them a little card that says like us on Facebook and do any reviews. I mean, if everything, they're really happy and cool people. Anyway, so also one thing I can't believe I missed this number one, create a.
Yeah, we want that one to be number one because that is a good number one.
Okay. I'll change it. So, you got it.
So the big things to work on is the script for the door, and I think we got that nailed down at least well enough for you to go out and start working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing.
Oh, well, I wanted a space in there.
What's that?
I wanted a space in there.
Okay. Right there?
Yeah, I like the spaces. It keeps it separate, and then I can start adding things underneath it when I have ideas.
Yeah. So the one thing that I feel is going to be huge is number 2. Create a script for a yard sign program with happy existing customers. And what I mean for that is, like, okay, I've got all these signs, yard signs, sitting right now, and I can have Matt, while he's at work, calling, or whoever, calling existing customers who we know have good signals, who are cool, who are happy, and this and that, and then we call them up and ask them, hey, can we put a yard sign in your yard for a couple months? We can maybe bump you up. What we came up with is we can maybe bump you up to the next package higher for a month or two, for however long you have it in your yard. We'll just give your speed faster, and then and then that way, and then let's say we get 200 of them that say, sure, that'd be great. Well, we take 100 of them and do them in quarter 2, in strategic places. Obviously they'll be picked. They're not going to be the last house in a subdivision, but we find 200 prime real estate sites who are happy, who will let us do it. Then for quarter 2, we put 100 of them out, and for quarter 3, we put the other 100 out. So we're rotating. So when people are driving through the coverage area, they're like, "Holy shit! Look at all these people who are installed."
That works great. The reality is, though, the people aren't going to leave them in their yards long. They're going to leave them there long enough for them to mow, and then they won't put it back up.
Yeah.
And then their gardeners are going to do the same thing. They're going to come pull it out of the ground, mow, and then they won't put it back. So expect those to only live about a week, so maybe 2.
Okay, so we could do that, and we'll just give them 1 month of the next service hire.
Yeah, or you could do that, or you could work it out. So to get them invested in it is you kind of work out some deal with them where maybe they get a $10 discount for every full month that sign stays in their yard. But if you drive by and it's not there, or somebody drives by and it's not there, then they don't do it. They don't get it. Or better yet, they put the yard sign in their. They put a yard sign in their yard. Anybody in the neighborhood who signs up for service, they get 1 month free.
Yeah.
So now not only do you have the yard sign in your front yard, but now they're talking to all their neighbors about it.
Right.
You see, and who cares if you give away a free service to that one guy for 1 month if 3 of his neighbors signed up? Who cares if he gets a free service for a year if 3 of his neighbors signed up? But say the only way you can get that is with the yard sign in your yard. Otherwise, you get half a month free. We give you a discount of this for 1 month, a $10, whatever your promotion, your referral program is. You just make it, whatever your referral program is, double it for the yard sign people.
Okay.
So that would be another good way to do it. So the free month of service and the for any sign up with the yard sign in the yard, I think would be fairly attractive to people.
Yeah. I agree. That's cool. Okay. Well, I think yeah, it's definitely good. So right now we've got a program where it's $5 off every month forever for each customer you refer. So, and I say we've got some people saving $20, $30 a month, and they're like, oh, they love that. But
It's $5 a month?
yeah,
Wow, that's pretty good.
so but I'm thinking maybe it might be easier and simpler just to do a free month. You know, it'll be less for them, more for us, and it might be easier to track.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah, that's something you got to work with on your where your profitability and stuff is, because I don't know all your margins and things, so it's hard for me to tell you what to do money-wise. I only feel comfortable giving you ideas on that, not really telling you what you should do.
right. Um, let's see. Yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything else that I was hoping. Um, bicycle shirts. We can also, yeah. Anyway, I think that's pretty good. So,
Cool. Well, that's what my goal was for today, was to make sure you get some value out of talking with me, instead of what happened last week where we just spent a lot of time doing circles.
no, this is really good stuff, Dave. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, man, I hope it lines you out and gets you some success. I mean, we could refine on this next week, or we could tackle something else. I'm going to kind of leave that up to you. We still need to come up with these ultimate accomplishments, man. You got to really be clear what your accomplishment is in that market.
Oh, let me look.
It's like setting goals is what it really is. It's like, what are your goals for that market you're going to get in? What do you want there?
What is the ultimate accomplishment you want to have in the market? We want to basically, as far as like for the customer, like we want to be able, we want to be the best. We want to provide the fastest, most reliable broadband option to people who need it the most, you know?
So the ultimate accomplishments to own, I don't want that in capital letters. Oops. Probably not spelling, you're probably correcting. With such high integrity that our comp can't give the service away.
Mm-hmm.
See, now that would be an ultimate accomplishment, don't you think? To own the area with such high integrity that our competition can't give the service to them.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's an accomplishment, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely an accomplishment.
That's what I mean by ultimate accomplishments. It's like, what if you could just, like, the ultimate accomplishment in the world, what would that be? And this changes our thinking when you're standing at the door. If you bring these into your guts, when you're standing at the door, these will play over in your head, and you will accomplish every one of those goals.
Yeah, like another ultimate accomplishment we want to have in the market is to become a household name, so when we get to the door, people are like, oh my God, I've been meaning to call you, you know?
Okay, so go from, so the ultimate accomplishment to be something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that should be to be known so well, right?
Yeah. That's nice.
So,
I mean, I remember when we first started, it was kind of like that. Like, I would pull into a subdivision and people were like running up to the truck, hey, send me up, you know? So, if we get known well enough, then that could happen again.
yeah, you just want to make sure that you're known for the right things, right? Always behave in ways to build trust, always be thinking, always be selling, always be thinking about the customer's perception, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it'd be nice to have one more on here because it's good to have three.
What is the ultimate accomplishment you want to have in the market that people, I'm just brainstorming, people trust us and know that we care, that we actually care about the customer or care about them?
Yeah, that's the perception. So that's under perception, right?
Oh, okay.
So these are accomplishments, and perception, I have that, loves the customer more than the money,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Experts at cord cutting, because you want to be an expert at cord cutting, and then to be the most trusted broadband provider in the area. That all leads to your accomplishments, right? If you can accomplish these goals under perceptions, that's going to accomplish these goals under accomplishments,
yeah.
right? So what's the third one that we really want for an accomplishment is
Let's see, ultimate accomplishment you want to have in the market.
yeah, there you go, thank you. I don't know if that's an accomplishment, but
No,
I'd say to be consistently, no, I can't spell that word either, consistently requested by associations and groups to talk at their events.
yeah. That's nice.
So that would be another good accomplishment to have in the market, because if you're doing that, then that's going to lead to all six of these are now in line, right, with each other. So if you accomplish the first three, the second three should just naturally come,
Yeah.
right? And if you're living through all six of those, the knocking the door thing and doing your pitches at the door and the way you naturally come off and talk to people, as long as you're focusing on those top three, they're going to feel that, they're going to buy into it, and you're going to succeed.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, I thought about an idea before of having branded Frisbees, like XL Broadband Frisbees. What do you think if we throw them in yards when we're driving by? Not driving.
No, people would be you'd be considered littering. That would be bad.
Okay, just anyway. So.
But you can hand them out. So I would do like the Frisbee stuff. You could hand out at events, so like at fairs and parks and things like that, where you're doing things. I would do them there. That's where I would do those.
Okay.
It's really important to pick out, what you want to tailor the marketing for the event that you're going to.
Okay.
That's basically one of the rules. So if you want to pick out like a best buyer strategy, like example would be, that's kind of what we're building here is a best buyer strategy, but there's other things we can do for best buyer strategies too, like, and we'll do this mostly with the companies, like what companies what businesses if you had them in your area would lead to so much validity for you that you could just know you would pick up another 5 businesses just because you have them as a client. And then what we do is we create a marketing plan specifically for that particular company and the other 100 or 10 that you pick.
Mm-hmm.
And then we spend weeks and months and years mailing to them and cold calling them and dropping by, right, and trying to get involved in something that they're doing so that you can win those accounts.
Yeah.
But sometimes it takes a while. It could take a year to get in, but when you get in, you're almost guaranteed to get it.
Right.
So there's stuff like that we can do too as when you start getting into the business stuff. But first, let's get your network making you money.
I know. Yeah. And
let's get it optimized so you can get growth that you want. And
yeah. And that's another thing I was thinking too. There's like a lot of other little things that we could do, but I think everything that everybody's doing here needs to be geared towards marketing and selling, like every
Peter Drucker says it best, dude. The only reason businesses exist is for marketing and innovation. The only reason you exist.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we're doing. We're innovating your marketing, and we're innovating because you're figuring out how to get people to get their video.
Right.
That's your golden ticket. So you're innovating how to deliver that to them, and then we're marketing to that.
Yeah.
That's gonna win. It's gonna win.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean.
Cool, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot. Definitely awesome. Good, very productive today. Thank you for working with this and helping out. I mean.
No worries, man. It's like that's what you wanted me to do, and I'm trying to make sure I deliver on that for you.
Well, yeah, it's that's great. So, and
when we have structure, we can deliver, right? We just need structure. That's all.
Yeah, and by the way, Yeah, I know that agenda I kind of shot off to you yesterday was real rough. I just didn't think I'd have enough time to put something together. But then I'm like, no, wait, here we go, boom, 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 coming up with stuff. Or that was Sunday, I think. Anyway, yes,
Yeah, you did fine. You came up with a lot of stuff. We already had something to work on. We already had the cold calling, the door knocking thing to do. So
yeah,
we already had something.
yeah. And the cool thing is now we've got a lot of stuff to work on too. So,
Yeah,
um,
cool.
and then I like the quality service price. I actually heard myself kind of like repeating what you were saying yesterday to our to the company. We're going to start holding company meetings every week, and just to make sure everyone's on the same page. And I said that to people. I'm like, same thing that you said to me, like about quality service price, and it sounded really good. So thanks.
Cool. Yeah, no problem, man. Any way I can help you, that's what I want to do, bro.
Cool.
Maybe you'll hire me to be CEO when you become a multi-million-dollar company.
Right. Well,
And you can come in and spell for me since I can't spell.
well, I plan on having this be a very long business relationship, friendship, because this isn't the only business this is kind of like, I look at it like a practice business. Get it running. I want to get some going, get them growing, get people to run them. And then I've got a lot of other businesses that I want to work on too, I just got to basically, the next one has to be carefully thought of to make sure it's going to be the most profitable, because
Yeah, I'm with you.
yeah, so I got a lot of cool things coming up, but for now, this is what we got, and it's fun. So
Cool.
Thanks, Dave.
Not a problem, my friend. I will talk to you probably. When do you want to meet again? Next week, or do you want to wait till next month? What's your plan?
Let's still plan on next week, and then
Next Tuesday?
yeah, then I'll if yeah, let's plan on. I feel that every week, if I'm able to keep up, I feel every week is probably the best.
So the trick with this is doing incremental improvements. So let's not try to reinvent the wheel. We just want to pick one thing and then incrementally improve it. And
Yeah.
if you do that with your team every day too in your weekly meetings,
Mhm.
focus that weekly meeting on finding at least one thing in each department that you can improve.
Okay.
And if you do that, at the end of 52 weeks, you've improved 52 things in every department of your company.
Right.
That's powerful.
I know.
That's powerful.
Yeah. So
All right, man.
we'll plan on Tuesday again. And then if for some reason the latest I'll let you know is Monday if I can't make it. I won't. So I mean,
That's cool.
or whatever it is, whatever it comes out to. But we could always touch back on Monday, and if you feel like shooting me an email, you don't have to. But I'm just planning on meeting you every Tuesday. And if I can't meet you, I'll let you know.
Okay, well, at least let me know what the next meeting is going to be about. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing because I kind of like to think about what we're going to be doing
Yeah.
throughout the week, so I'm kind of prepared like I was for this. I had all week to kind of think about this cold calling thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. Okay.
So just let me know what the next topic is. Well, we have a list. Let's just look at it real quick. We want to go, let's work on the magnet and pamphlet.
Yeah.
Or the yard sign, one of those two. We got both of those need to be done, so we can pick one. Which one?
I would say, well, the magnet pamphlet, Wi-Fi password, that's more of just like a design though,
Yeah.
That's not going to be bad. That won't be difficult to do. I can start putting a rough draft of that together. But if you wanted to add or think about some things we can say to make it like feel more about them, on that and along with the yard sign program.
Yeah, what I would do with this was I would outline it. So put what you want the magnet pamphlet to look like, how big do you want it to be, and then the Wi-Fi password, and then what's the referral program that you want to put on it, and then what are the instructions for the router reboot. We're going to need to know what all that is so we know what size to make this thing.
Right.
Right? The router reboot might get booted off there because it may be too much for that.
I want them.
But maybe not,
I
right?
want them to at least know what their router looks like and their PoE, because that's like the number one thing that wastes so much time is people calling in and all they got to do is reboot it,
Yeah, so then we want to figure out a way to get those on there somehow. So just put what you think they are and then try to outline something. But as far as wording it, we can't do that until you have a layout.
Sure, exactly. Okay, I'll get the layout going by Tuesday.
Cool. And then so we'll go from there, and I'll talk to you on Tuesday.
All right, sounds good, Dave. Thanks a lot, man.
Yep. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Okay, bye.